Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Neha and I make videos related to books, and welcome to a massive wrap up video. So yeah, I haven't been posting on this channel for quite some time, but I hit 500 subscribers on it, which I'm very happy about. So if you're still here, thank you so much. I hope to make it up to you by posting some great videos about books and giving you some top recommendations. The reason I've not been active is just because there were too many things happening and I just could not bring myself to film videos or make videos. I have been reading though, I have been reading quite a lot. My reading goal for the year has been 60 books, and I have so far finished 52 books, which I'm very happy about. I am on track to finish my reading goals for the year. My last wrap up video was in March when I wrapped up 2 months worth of books, and now it's October, and I have 7 months of books left to be wrapped up. There's no way I can talk you through each and every one of them, so I've decided to make like a tier ranking to just run you through the 40 books that I've finished in the last 7 months and what I think of them. I'm going to aim to be really quick about this, but let's see how much I'm able to achieve that particular goal. But yeah, let's start. Also, I've got a mic. I feel like this is one step more into the professional YouTuber journey. Had to stop for an important addition to set. I got flowers. So, number one here is awe inspiring works of art. These will be reserved for the five-star reads, which I don't know if I have any, but let's see. Then, number four is solid, steady book, no complaints. The third one, 3 stars, is will read if needed. And 2 star is a disappointed stare, and a 1 star is just utter trash. So those are the kind of basic tiers, but I just couldn't think of anything clever, so that's where we're going to leave at. So let's quickly get started because I have 40 books to rate and review. And yeah, let's start. So the first book that is on the list by default is 1984 by George Orwell. This goes straight in awe-inspiring works of art. This is a dystopian book. I think everybody knows about this book, but this is set in an alternate surveillance dystopian society where there is this presence, Big Brother, which is always watching you. And it is a story of how truth can be altered if all sorts of media is compressed, all sorts of opinions are compressed, and it is really a very chilling read. I urge you to read it if you haven't yet read it already. A lot of people have already read it, I'm very sure, but I can't believe it took me so much time to read it. So representative of what is happening in today's world as well, because even in the world of social media, it takes just nothing is fact anymore, right? Nothing is truth anymore. Then we have A Broken Mirror by Merce Rodoreda. This is a book that I actually bought in Spain. I was treating it like what do I say? I was treating it like memorabilia. I went to Spain in 2023 and I finally read it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put it in solid steady book. This is one of those intergenerational family tales. So it is a book which is set in Spain, and it kind of follows 3 generations after the Spanish Civil War. And we follow this woman who gets married into this really wealthy family, and about her family afterwards. And yeah, it reminded me a lot of Gabriel Garcia Marquez's work, and also even Isabel Allende. And yeah, something about multi-generational tales is very nice to read, and especially set in a country which is very different. The Anthropologist by Ais Isigul Savas. This is a recent read for me. I read it, I think, a month ago, and it's definitely even a 4.5 stars read for me. This is basically about these two people who are a couple, and they move to a very big city from small country, and they are trying to create their life in the city while people watching. So it's kind of a play on the term anthropologist, about studying human society, and they're studying human society in order to assimilate to it. So yeah, definitely a must read. I actually really enjoyed this book, so I would definitely recommend it. Then I have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have absolutely forgotten what this book is. Oh, yeah, this is a space exploration book, and it is about this lady who gets selected to be one of the first women to go into space. It is set in the 1970s, 80s, if I'm not wrong. And it's a story about how she finally ends up going to space and what happens there, and it's about interpersonal relationships within the few people who get selected to do this mission along with her. I found the space exploration part to be way too underdone. The romance was so dragged out and it was just not interesting enough for me. I'm sorry. So I actually rated 2 stars, so I'm going to keep it at a disappointed stare because that's what it is. Then I have Audition by Katie Kitamura. This has been shortlisted for the Booker Prize, and I've recently read it. I would also say this was a disappointed stare. This book is divided into two parts basically. It's about this woman who is an actor in theater and about this guy who thinks of himself to be her long lost son. Is he, isn't he? They're two different like versions of the story. I was reading it. I was really reading it to find out what the hell happens, but the ending really, really let me down. I could not understand what happened in the ending. The writing is beautiful. The other Katie Kitamura book that I've read, Interpretations, I absolutely loved. I cannot recommend that one enough. And I was so looking forward to this. Unfortunately, not for me. I have Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, and I actually would put this as a solid, steady book. This is about these three sisters who reunite in their childhood home. Their other sister unfortunately passes away, and it's a story of grief, of sisterhood, of relationships. And I actually really enjoyed it. I've listened to it on audio, and it's a great audiobook for like chores and walks and things like that. Then I have a lot of Jenny Colgan books. I think I'm gonna put them all into will read if needed. I needed to read these books. I read all of them between April and May, if I'm not wrong. I was just not having the best of times, and I just was not having the mental capacity to read. So there are a whole host of these books where this, like a woman character decides to leave her life in the city, move to a very small town to either set up a sweet shop or a bakery or a bookshop or a I think like a cafe. So it's just like various plays on the same thing. There is a toy penguin in one of the books. I don't even remember which book, but I felt like I needed to read all of these books at that particular point of time. I'm just gonna put all of them in will read it if needed because I needed to read these books. So yeah, they're all jumbled up in my list here. So give me a minute to find them and classify them all together, and then I will read out what all do I have because there are a lot. Is that it? So, yeah, so that's 9 books. 9 out of 40 are just these. So I have The Bookshop on the Shore. I have Christmas at Rosie Hopkins Sweet Shop. I have Christmas at Little Beach Street Bakery. I have Christmas at the Cupcake Factory. I have Little Beach Street Bakery. I have The Little Shop of Happily Ever After. Meet Me at the Cupcake Cafe. Summer at Little Beach Street Cafe. Sorry, Summer at Little Beach Street Bakery. And then the last one is Rosie Hopkins Sweet Shop of Dreams. So yeah, like I said, they're all pretty similar to what they are about. I don't think I want to review each and every one of them, but yeah, if you're going through a tough time, these Jenny Colgan books really, really help you. Then I have a memoir. I have Breaking Through by Kathleen Carrico. This is again a recent read. So this is about the woman scientist who has been working on the mRNA technology throughout her academic life, and she finally gets to deploy it in the way that she wants to for the COVID vaccine. Throughout her scientific career, she kind of gets belittled for sticking to this one technology because it is so hard to work with. She also comes from Hungary, from communist Hungary to America, and she faces a lot of hardships that way as well. I'm very ambivalent about this book. I really wanted to read it for the story, but unfortunately I didn't like the style of writing. It felt very disjointed. Maybe because it is meant to be also like an academic memoir. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of the science things also I didn't really. I don't think she explained it enough for somebody who has no idea about science and vaccines like me. So I think I'm gonna say I will give it a 3 stars. I will say we'll read it if needed. So yeah. Then I have another memoir. This is A Story of Where I Used to Work by Sarah Wynne Williams. I made a reel about this book and I posted it on Instagram. I don't know if it's on YouTube. If it is, I will link it. But this is basically about an ex Meta employee who's kind of been being a whistleblower. She used to work on the policy side at Meta. I liked the behind the scenes approach. I just don't think that she's as innocent as she claims to be. So I'm gonna say it was a 2-3 stars read for me. So we'll read it if needed. Then I have The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Wong, another new release for 25. A very anticipated book, I think, because his first book was so beautiful. I like this book. The story is narrated really well. It's not as lyrical as his first work. This is about this addict who somehow becomes like this caretaker of a woman suffering from dementia, and he starts working at this diner. And it's about found families, about love, about just getting through hard times, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. It was a solid, steady book. Then I have Foster by Claire Keegan. Absolutely loved this book without thinking about it or inspiring work of art, because this is a short book. It's a novella, and it's about this little girl who gets left off by her parents with an extended family situation, just because there's not enough room for her in her own house in on during the summer. And she basically experiences love and affection for the very first time in her life, and the way she blossoms, it is just so beautiful to witness. I read this book in an hour straight. It's like a 70-page book, and I absolutely 100% recommend it. Claire Keegan, by the way, turning out to be one of my most favorite authors, and I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of her works. I think I've read 2 so far, so yeah. Okay, so the video turns out is really long, because recapping 40 books is never an easy endeavor. So I'm gonna have to do it in 2 parts just to make sure that you are engaged enough during the video, because I have read some amazing books and I want you to take some recommendations out of the video as well. So this is end of part 1 of my really long wrap up video. I hope you liked it so far. If you're still here, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will post, and I promise to post the second part really soon. Bye.